The woods can be dense for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Where do I sign? The sub have.
Good morning, everybody. Was it Thursday? June 22nd. Just making stuff up. All right, let's kind of get this prepared. I don't think anybody's expecting me. I had plenty of sleep the night before and no nightmares, so I guess this is what happens when to Dion. I get up a little bit earlier. So I'll let a few people know. All right. About to hit that 3-minute mark. There we are. See, it's 3 minutes. Trace Minitos. Promigo. What's going on here? Okay, I better check my stuff. Just in case. I did some switching around. Okay, all right. Must be a loose wire, so must be very careful. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. Morning, Chris. Good to see you. If you're here, please say hello. I'll be your bromigo today. I like that. So today we're talking about today I am free. This is from the Daily Reflections. I did not pick this. I don't know that I'm feeling entirely free today, but we're going to talk about it. So a lot of this is going to come out of As Bill Sees It. Yes, so here we are. It's going to be page 114 in As Bill Sees It. If you would like to follow along, I'm going to have some talking juice here real quick. Today's sponsor is Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Not really. I don't even know if they're around anymore. All right. So this is titled No Personal Power. I agree. Freedom is a state of mind. Unless you're in jail. And even then, freedom is a state of mind. But I'm saying for me, unless I'm in jail. And it's real hard for me. But it's true. It comes from inside. It's being free is an alleviation of things. Sometimes. And in our case, it certainly is. We're getting the rock off of our back. We don't want to carry around this monkey anymore. Right? Gotta get rid of this monkey on our back. But let's see what Bill has to say about it. At first, the remedy for my personal difficulties seemed so obvious that I could not imagine any alcoholic turning the proposition down were it properly presented to him. So at the beginning, he thought AA was so good that whoever he presented it to, it should work. What a way to think, right? No. But that's the kind of confidence that he had in the actual program because it was working for him. Now, Bill, okay, had managed to stay sober something like 6 months, something like that. I'm not sure the amount of time, so don't quote me on that. And he had not succeeded in getting anybody else sober. But he was sober. So I think he needed to find that out. He needed to figure that out. And that's why I work with sponsees. It helps me stay sober. It keeps me focused on what I need to be doing. Because, gosh, life can be pretty disrupting sometimes. Like really disrupting. To where, you almost feel like you got to put your recovery on hold for something. Okay, and you don't need to do that. You can bring your recovery into that. Believing so firmly that Christ can do anything, I had the unconscious conceit to suppose that he would do everything through me, right then and in the manner I chose. Somebody got a little big-headed with their sudden spiritual experience, did they not? See, this is why I don't like them. I don't like seeing other people get them because they get big heads. They need to be right-sized. All right? But this was something new for him. So he had to figure out that he was being quite conceitful. Does God talk through us? Yes. But God's not going to do the work. Okay? He's not going to do the work for us. I'm going to go shut the door. I got a cat whining incessantly upstairs. After 6 months, there we go, see? That was about right. After 6 long months, I had to admit that not a soul surely laid hold of the master, not excepting myself. Why do you think it was? What action was he doing wrong? There was an expectation there, number one. There was an expectation. And then with that expectation comes wanting something from somebody else. Even though they're not wanting something yet, but yet he did want something from them. He wanted them to get sober and join his group. That's wanting something. This brought me to a good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power. There's so many situations in which I had no personal power. Then there are situations where people give me power. Why they do that is beyond me. Actually, I do know why. I used to do it too. See, the more off-center we are, the more easily manipulated we can be. when we're off that beam. That if I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else, I would still have to be still and know that he, not I, was God. So there he was trying to play God again. Okay? And see how even the best of intentions, can backfire on us because of pride, ego, popularity. Popularity is the big one. Now it's about how many stars are we getting, how many likes are we getting, how many hearts, how many comments. And that's what it's and that's kind of what a lot of our self-esteem seems to come down to today. And it's not going to work. It's not going to connect, because at some point you're going to need to go out there into the real world, and your likes and your loves and everything else are not going to follow you. They're here. They're only here. That's it. I am not all of that. I am not that. I am much more than that. Okay. And is it nice when you're talking to see thumbs up and hearts and yeah, you're on a good roll? Absolutely it is. Sure, it could be encouraging, but when we start using social media to feed our self-esteem, we're going to find that it creates the exact opposite of what we're actually going for. People are awfully brave on the internet. Awfully brave on the internet. I have a rule. I will never say anything about anybody that I will not say to their face. Okay? And that's a Gen X rule, man. That's how we work. Okay? Some point you're gonna have to leave the comfortability of your own home. You're gonna have to stop hiding behind the camera and show the world who you actually are. I'm learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances in my life so that I may enjoy peace of mind. So, allowing the world to be the way that it needs to be, including this stupid submarine. It was controlled. It was controlled by a gaming console. Wasn't that your first hint? Wasn't that your first hint? Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I can't control other things. People, places, and things. If it is a noun, I can't control it. Can't control my dog. Can't control my cat. Can't control my wife, my nieces, my nephews, my children, my friends. Okay? And I don't want that control anymore. Because when I do that, what happens is then the people don't listen to me. I get angry, and then I'm hurt for a reason that doesn't exist. I made that up. See? I created that whole situation so I could get hurt and then whine and cry about what it is that I need to whine and cry about. Instead of just being honest with myself and saying, I'm feeling this way. What is the answer to this? What is it that I need to do now? What action do I need to take in order to get myself out of how I'm feeling right now? Or do I need to sit with it? Is it one of those things where it's going to take time? Do I need delayed gratification? At one time, life was a constant battle because I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. Oh, life is so much nicer now that I don't fight. Okay? Whether that be physical or with words, usually with words. I'm not much of a physical fighter. I don't like to physically fight because if somebody hits me, I black out. And then I go crazy. And I don't like it. All right. Eventually, this became a losing battle. I ended up getting drunk and crying over my misery. When I began to let go and let God take over my life, I began to have peace of mind. Today, I am free. I do not have to fight anybody or anything anymore. Yeah. The only fights that you have now are the ones that you choose to have. Are the ones that you choose to have. I know it doesn't feel that way in all situations, but we do still have those choices on how we're going to act, what we're going to do with this situation. And those choices right there will determine the consequence. Okay? And the consequence could be good or bad. Not all consequences are bad. There are a lot of consequences that are good, like helping other people. There's good consequences to that. It's one of those things, what you put out is what you're going to get back. And if I run around all day saying wrong, 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 what I'm going to get is wrong, 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 wrong. That's what I'm going to get from life. It's going to keep supplying me with that because your brain doesn't really know the difference between good and bad. It just knows what it is. Okay? It deals with facts. Then it looks for the easiest way. It looks for the shortest line between A and B. Okay? It'll go like that, and you're like, oh, no, that's not the right way. We kind of need to do a little bit of this, then a little bit of straight line. Okay, then we got, It's not always a straight line for us. Okay? But your brain only deals with facts. It does not know the difference between good and bad. Your tummy does. It does. But the way that it works for us, the way it works for me. Okay? So when I get a situation and I get angry, is that my brain getting angry? No. That's Dion getting angry. Now, from there, my brain is going to start to make some decisions based on the emotions that I am feeding it. I'm scared. Okay, fight or flight. Body's going to do something. You're either going to start fighting or you're going to run. Okay? There's also freeze. There's flight. There's too many ice in it for me. My dyslexia is like, no, I'm not saying it. I can't. Fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. Whew, I got through it. Yay, I did it. Yay. Did that. So, freedom starts with not fighting. It starts with, hey, you know what? But do you know how freeing it is to go, you know what? I don't know shit. And you have no more responsibilities. Like, well, you know what? I was wrong. I was so wrong. I don't know anything. Now you have to be a sponge. Take advantage of that, man. That's kind of the fun part. Because you get to rediscover things. So that's pretty neat. And you get to emerge into this new life. Okay. Whew. I was just going to kind of get ready to wrap this one up, but and I know not everybody's going to hang out, but if you want, I'd be more than happy to do another one. I'd be happy to do that. Should I just open up let's just open up the big book and read. Let's do that, right? I suck at this because there is a solution. Almost none of us like the self-searching, the leveling of pride, the confession of shortcomings, and the process required for a successful consummation. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be tough, man. This solution is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart either. You know, and since it isn't for the faint of heart, we are certainly not the faint of heart. Are we? We're not. You know, so we alcoholics and addicts and people that have been through harder stuff, it's actually a little bit easier for us to accept this than normies. Because we have a reason why we're doing it, and they don't. That actually puts you ahead of the game. That's good stuff. See, did you know that because you are an alcoholic, because you are an addict, that there are certain things in you that other people just don't have? Yeah, like the ability to get somebody else sober, the ability to save somebody else's life. You have that in you. Not everybody gets that. That is a gift from God. A gift. You might be the one person that stops somebody else from taking their life today. Okay? Just because you decided to speak up or say something that was on your mind. Listen to your intuition. When it tells you to talk, you talk. Okay? Don't shove it down. You raise your damn hand and you talk. And if you don't have an arena to talk, then you come grab me and I will make an arena for you. That's what this is. This is an arena. Okay? But nobody wants to do this shit. Not one person wants to do this unless they have to in order to stay alive. Okay? I almost feel guilty of the fact that God had to convince me that he was there. I almost feel bad about that. Talk about abandonment. I abandoned God. I turned around and I walked away from him. And I paid the price. I paid the price. Thank you, Mr. Leisure. It's been really, I know for me it's been a rough couple weeks. Well, I wouldn't say rough, but I'm really understanding friendship a lot better, and it's nice to finally understand. Okay. But we saw that it really worked in others, and we have come to believe in the hopeless and futility of life as we have been living it. So in other words, I got tired of life the way I was living my life. It was not conducive. It was just, I was a wreck. We all were, right? The hopelessness and futility of life as we've been living it. When we were approached by those with whom the problem had been solved, there was nothing left for us to pick up the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at our feet. Simple kit. Right? Your first tool that you're going to get is the key of willingness. I am kind of expecting something, but I was not expecting burial insurance emails. Okay. Now here's the thing: is we have found much of heaven, and we have been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence of which we had not even dreamed. Okay. I experienced things that I didn't know were possible. They were beyond my finite mind. But I am capable of seeing these things because of the freedoms that we were talking about earlier. Because I did the leveling of my pride, I did my confessions, I did the process for the successful consummation. That took me 5 years. 5 years to do that. I had a lot of other things I needed to work on. And that's okay. If you go through that too, it's okay, man. I didn't feel like I was okay to sponsor till I was almost 4 years sober. Okay. The great fact is just this and nothing less: that we have had deep and effective spiritual experiences, which have revolutionized our whole attitude towards life, towards our fellows, and towards God's universe. The central fact of our lives today is the absolute certainty that our Creator has entered into our hearts and lives in a way which is indeed miraculous. He has commenced to accomplish those things for us which we could never do by ourselves. And I have written there, happy, joyous, and free. Right? Those are the things which I could never do by myself, is be happy, joyous, and free. 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 See, when I'm free, the happiness and joyousness just come along. Right? And there again, happiness and joy and sadness and these other emotions are dividends to things that are happening, that are going on, to efforts that you have put into things, or the non-effort you have put into things. Okay? And then what you have is you have those dividends, and those dividends belong to you. And if you go out there and you put joy and happiness into the world, it is what you will get back. It is what you will get back. Because your brain and your intentions will make it. It will make it so, number one. I haven't done that one in a while. Engage. That was horrible. Engage. That was even worse. So, should have just stuck with the first one because it was pretty good. So. All right. All right. I have a lot of little things I need to get done today, which means I'll be back 2 or 3 more times today to avoid doing it. I'm kidding. But I'm sure I'll be back at some point. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you. I love you. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.